I knew full well that my husband Ryan Prescott had faked his death and assumed the identity of his twin brother, yet I never exposed him. Instead, I sought out the military commander, informed him of my husband's death, and applied to have his military service discharged. In a past life, my brother-in-law died suddenly. My husband resolutely gave up his position as company commander and impersonated his younger brother, all to spare his sister-in-law from becoming a widow. I recognized him as Ryan and demanded why he impersonated his brother. Ryan flatly denied it, coldly shoving me away. Eleanor, I know you're heartbroken over my brother's death, but you can't mistake me for him just because he's gone. Protecting his fragile sister-in-law, he pushed me into the icy river, warning me not to harbor delusions. My 5-year-old daughter wailed, "Why won't daddy take me?" Locked in the cattle shed for reflection, she starved for 3 days and nights. My mother-in-law cursed me as the ill omen who killed her husband, kicking my daughter and me out penniless. Ryan even spread rumors that I'd gone mad after my husband's death and coveted his brother. Spurned by all, I numbly waited for death in the bitter winter, clutching my daughter. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day my husband impersonated his brother. Eleanor, please accept my deepest condolences. I never imagined my brother would meet such a fate. Ryan's eyes were red-rimmed, his face etched with grief as he looked at me. As my brother-in-law's body was carried in, I wailed in feigned grief, calling out my husband's name. Max lay pale and lifeless, utterly gone. He and Ryan were identical in appearance. No one noticed Ryan had long since swapped places with him. After weeping for a while, I wiped away my tears and said, "The body shouldn't be kept long. Cremate him quickly. Max deserves a dignified farewell." Ryan immediately nodded in agreement, eager to destroy the evidence even more than I was. As I watched him move the body, the long thin scar on his palm was clearly visible. In my past life, it was precisely this scar that convinced me the living man was Ryan. Now I pretended not to see it. In my past life, during a disaster relief mission, Ryan and Max were deployed. Max suffered a fatal head injury and died instantly. To spare his sister-in-law Selena Miller from widowhood, Ryan gave up his battalion commander rank and impersonated Max. Outsiders were easily deceived by Ryan's deliberate mimicry, accepting it as truth. But as his wife, living with him day in and day out, I recognized Ryan instantly. I desperately demanded why he impersonated my brother-in-law, abandoning me and our daughter. Ryan remained expressionless, vehemently denying it, and shoved me away roughly. "Eleanor, I know you're heartbroken over my brother's death, but you can't mistake me for him. Just because he's gone." I repeated my incredulous questions, only to be pushed into the icy river in the dead of winter. He stood on the bank, protecting Selena, coldly watching me struggle. "Even if you were my sister-in-law, I won't let you harm my wife." I ran a fever for 3 full days and nights, with only my 5-year-old daughter by my side. She cried, asking Ryan why daddy didn't recognize her. Ryan claimed this was nonsense. I had taught her, immediately locking her in the cattle shed for reflection. It took me 3 days to crawl back from the brink of death, but my daughter had starved for 3 days and nights. My mother-in-law cursed me again, calling me the monster who killed her son, saying I strangled her son with my own hands. She drove my daughter and me from the house, leaving us without a single garment or a penny. In the blizzard, I pounded desperately on doors, begging Ryan to save my daughter. All I heard was his icy voice. "Elena, you must be mad to mistake me for my brother. If you can't face reality, stay away from me." Villagers believed his lies, saying I bore a curse of husband killing, mad to mistake my brother-in-law for my husband. Holding my daughter, I had nowhere to go. Starving and freezing in the harsh winter, I ultimately froze to death on the street. Thinking of this, a fiery rage ignited within me. May that entire family be dragged into hell.